G-Roll Electronic Productions, baby.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm JJ, your local neighborhood psychotherapist covering the news. We're going over some headlines today. I got about an hour before my next client, so I thought I'd do a little bit of news real quick. Some stuff that's going on right now that's important. Let's see. First, let's start off with the Zoomers. Zoomers have made peace with constant surveillance, and it's scary. And I would agree with that. It's very scary that they think it's okay for the government to spy on them. Gen Z has thoroughly made peace with being watched 24/7 via devices. Ongoing TikTok trend, an ongoing TikTok trend shows users joking about their personal FBI agents watching them through their phones and computer screens. Most of the videos portray the TikTokers agents viewing them do harmless, albeit embarrassing things. So let's check this out. Let's see what's going on with this.
Why do I look like that? He left me on red 20 minutes ago? No, I'm not posting that. Hey Siri, how do I become less ugly so men find me attractive? Should I get a nose job?
Alright, so that's one. Let's see what this one is. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get what's so funny about this.
Alright, I just clocked in. What do we got here?
Ooh, beef Wellington recipe, yes.
God, why even watch the cooking videos if he's just gonna order DoorDash again? Watch.
Order confirmed.
Everybody give me $5. Huh. I really thought he...
I think this stuff is kind of corny, but what's troubling about all these videos is that users seem to have thoroughly made peace with the fact that they are being watched 24/7 via their devices. Perhaps their contentment is a coping mechanism. However, most users seem to view the surveillance as either negligible or an aid to our collective common good. This is ridiculous. One user says that his FBI agent is saving the world. Another expressed a sort of odd friendship and even closeness to his FBI agent because the agent knows so much about him. And this is what they want. They want this slippery slope thing. They want to be able for it to be accepting that you're being spied on. And people of my generation knows that this is not a good thing. We know that the FBI is corrupt. We see what's going on. I talked about it yesterday, how the FBI sent 25 to 30 agents to the house of a man because he pushed another guy on the ground that was accosting his son, all because he's anti-abortion. So we know that the FBI is corrupt. So you don't want an agency like this to be able to spy on you. So this is ridiculous on the face of it. But hopefully these kids will wake up to this. But I'm not very optimistic about it. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. It says error, YouTube not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streams. Hopefully my stream is working okay. Maybe it's just not as good as it normally is. But let's talk about Biden. Biden's inflation takes a huge toll on Christmas shopping, and this is going to be big. This is what I was saying yesterday, something that I was alluding to yesterday about the cost of things during the holidays is going to go up dramatically. I think right around in November, right around Thanksgiving is when we're really going to notice the how bad food and groceries really are. Christmas is coming, and thanks to Joe Biden's inflation, Santa Claus has to cut back this year. 2 in 5 people, 40%, said inflation would influence their holiday spending habits, according to a recent survey by Bankrate. The survey found that 84% of holiday shoppers said they would try to save money this year. Of those, 40 said they would buy fewer items. 21% would buy gifts from cheaper brands, and 41% would look for coupon sales and other discounts. Shoppers are also considering more homemade gifts and use or secondhand gifts to cut down costs. Of course, Americans have bigger problems than affording presents. Biden inflation isn't just the Grinch stealing Christmas this year, but also your Christmas dinner. The U.S. Bureau of Statistics Consumer Price Index Summary Food at Home Index, which measures the price of groceries, rose by 3.5% over the previous year. And this is what I was just stating. Like, the cost of food is going to be ridiculous. It's gonna be a lot more expensive than it was years prior. This survey comes on the heels of the Biden administration declaring victory over inflation, which is ridiculous on the face of it. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Stuart Varney, Biden administration's economic policy is upside down. I agree with Barney. So during his My Take Monday, Varney and Co. host Stuart Varney discussed the Biden administration's poor economic policy and handling of issues plaguing the U.S., arguing the administration, quote, has it all wrong on key issues. And this is why I keep saying this is by design. This is by design. No one gets it this bad, this wrong on accident. We have a lot of smart people in our government, I assume, though they want us to believe. And you're telling me that they can't get this straight? They can't figure out how to get inflation under control? Well, let's play this.
The stock market is way down. The economy is slowing. Inflation stays high. Not good. What's the administration doing? Raising taxes and increasing spending. They have economic policy upside down. The cost of energy remains high. Heating your home and paying your utility bills this winter will be a challenge. What's the administration doing? Nothing. They won't okay pipelines. They're unwilling to drill for our own oil. They're trying to force us into expensive electric cars, and they simply cannot admit that the UN's green targets cannot and will not be reached. We all have to keep paying for their green dreams. 2 million migrants arrive at the border. They have overrun border towns. The governors of Texas and Florida are busing some of them to sanctuary cities like New York and D.C. What's the administration doing? Nothing to stop the flood. Just nasty comments questioning the morality of Governors DeSantis and Abbott. Not a word about fentanyl. Our military is challenged in Europe, Ukraine, and China, Taiwan. What's the administration doing about it? Giving the Pentagon more money, yes, but it's a budget cut because of inflation. Climate gets everything. The military gets a vax mandate and less real money. On all these issues, the administration has it all wrong, and the president calls his...
Again, it's by design. This is by design. No one is this incompetent.
Opponents' names, semi-fascists. Hillary says we are deplorables, Nazis. There's nothing unifying about extreme name-calling. The more they mess up the country, the more they divide, and the worse off we all are.
Amen. Amen. Varney is right on this. All right. Let's see. We got Elon Musk here. I know I'm kind of breezing through this news, but I'm going to try to get through it because I got a lot of stuff going on today, but I did wanted to cover some headlines here. Elon Musk says it's obviously correct that Fed is tanking U.S. economy. And that's my point that I was just making about Biden and everything else, that this has to be by design. They're doing this on purpose. It has to be, because they can't be this incompetent. Billionaire Elon Musk backed a prominent Wharton economist who accused the Federal Reserve and its chairman Jerome Powell of completely botching their response to the current economic slump. Musk reacted to a fiery rant from Wharton professor Jeremy Siegel, who told CNBC's halftime report on Friday that the Fed's current policy path is way too tight and makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. Siegel, who admitted he was very upset about the Fed's handling of the situation, accused Powell and his colleagues of waiting far too long to hike interest rates. Now, Siegel argued the Fed is taking the economy by being too aggressive with the rate hikes, despite signs inflation is already easing. Quote, it's like a pandemonium. It's like a pendulum. They were way too easy, as I've told you, and many others through the 2021. Oh, well, we got the video here. I'm not going to read it. Let me just play the video here.
Money supply data, which is going to show the greatest decline in 5 months that we've had in the post-war period. I mean, if he looks at any of the monetary or financial indicators, he can't say, oh, we have to keep them on. I mean, at his press conference, he said, we have to get real rates in the positive territory. They're in positive territory for every maturity. Mm-hmm. For the first time in years, we're already there. I thought that was the most uninformative. And no one was asking him, a hard question. How do we have 3.2 million new workers and GDP going down? What does that mean? What does the record decline in the money supply mean? I mean, what does the collapse in commodity prices mean? What is the lag construction of these housing indicators that are 40% of the core inflation, which are going to filter through inflation for the next 12 to 15 months? Is that what he's looking at? Why is he looking at that? That's not an accurate view of what housing inflation is. I mean, there were no hard questions. There were 50 reporters there. I don't know. They basically said, repeat the statement you made at the beginning.
Yeah, and that's a great point. The journalists aren't asking the tough questions. They're not asking them the tough questions whatsoever.
There's so many things I ask him. What is he actually looking at? I mean, he's looking at 3-month annualized core inflation that is a lag. While we all look at market, look at what does the stock market do? It looks at market-oriented data. And that's what Professor, the Fed should be looking at.
I don't know that I've seen you this animated. You seem downright
I am very
angry
upset.
Yeah, he is amped. He is amped.
Yes, I am. I'm afraid it's like a pendulum. They were way too easy, as I've told you and many others through 2020, 2021. And now, oh my God, we're going to be real tough guys until we crush the economy. I mean, that is just, to me, absolutely poor monetary policy would be an understatement.
Wow. And again, it has to be by design. Siegel is obviously correct. Musk tweeted on Saturday. Here's his tweet right here. In response to a clip of Siegel's rant, Siegel accused Powell of ignoring several economic indicators, including falling commodity prices, a slowdown in the U.S. housing market, and declines in money supply. Musk is among many business leaders who have held a pessimistic view on the state of the U.S. economy in recent months. In June, Musk teed up layoffs at Tesla while warning he had a, quote, economic outlook. Earlier this month, Musk joined others in warning that the Fed risks causing a deflation or a damaging collapse in prices by hiking rates too aggressively despite a slowing economy. They need to slow down on the rate hikes. Like Siegel said, they should have done the rate hikes a long time ago. They waited too late to do the rate hikes, and now they want to do an absurd number of rate hikes to try to catch up when the economy is already slowing down. The stock market has plummeted deeper into bear territory since last week when the Fed implemented a supersized interest rate hike for the third straight month. This is ridiculous. Central bank officials indicate that further sizable increases are likely in the months ahead, a sign the Fed is maintaining a hawkish course to combat decades-high inflation. It's decades high. So why would you wait last minute to do it? And then when you do the rate hikes, you wanna do a obscene number of them. But that's despite warning signs from Siegel, Musk, and others that the Fed could steer the economy into a lengthy downturn. U.S. GDP has already declined for 2 consecutive quarters. The widely held definition of a recession, which, according to our president Joe Biden, we're not in a recession, even though by definition we are. All right, looks like I lost. Let's see. What is going on? Looks like I lost my video feed here. Am I back? Am I back? All right, looks like I'm back. Okay. I think I'm back. Yep, I'm back. Okay, cool. So let's go on to the next one. School concedes to trans teacher will enforce preferred pronouns and restroom policies. Now, mind you, this is against what the parents want. They don't care about what the parents want. So let's see. It says this story has been updated to include a statement from Prince George County Public Schools. A Maryland school district settled with a transgender teacher days ahead of trial, agreeing to enforce policies including transgender students' preferred pronouns and restrooms, according to the Washington Post. Prince George County Public Schools in Prince George County, Maryland, settled with Jennifer Eller, who sued the school in 2018, saying she was subject to harassment after changing gender identity, according to the Washington Post. Under the settlement, Eller received financial compensation, and the school agreed to enforce transgender policy, which requires educators to hide students' transgender status from parents and use preferred pronouns. Why is it okay to hide this from the parents? This is ridiculous. The transgender policy, which allows students to use locker rooms and restrooms based on their gender identity. On overnight trips, students are permitted to room with whichever gender they best identify with, the policy stated. If I could have done that when I was in school, I would be in trouble. I can't believe they can do this. Educators will be required to keep students' transitioning status a secret from their parents unless otherwise advised by the student to do so according to the policy. The policy also requires educators and peers to use students' preferred pronouns. The school will also work to eliminate gender-based activities, including school photos, the policy stated. Teachers and administrators will undergo training regarding transgender students. The thing is, why would you keep this from the parents? I don't agree with that whatsoever. Parents have a right to know. I think if you don't like this, you should get your kids out of these type of schools. Get your kids out of Prince George County. It said, quote, Prince George County Public Schools reaffirms its commitment to promoting and maintaining learning and working environments that are safe, positive, and affirming for all students and staff, regardless of sexual orientation, gender identity, blah, blah, blah. Megan Jabresley, Director of Communications for PGCPS, told the Daily Caller, look, get your kids out of these schools. Get your kids out of these schools. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I'm going to do just one more, and I'll come back later and do some more. I'm having computer problems right now, it seems. So I'll do just one more, and maybe I'll come back later on this afternoon and do another live one. Hopefully my computer will be working with me. All right, so let's do one more. Surprise, Green Group behind Biden's radical green agenda has deep ties to communist China. No, that's what this green stuff is. The green stuff is about. It's about control, like I always say. It's about, and it's pushing the CCP's agenda. If you look at the green stuff, if you look at ESG, I tweeted out today, it's communism for America, and that's basically their way of pushing communism in our country. The Democrat Party purposefully destroying America one policy decision at a time. The Natural Resource Defense Council, NRDC, is a major environmental group with deep ties to China and the Communist Party. Democrats are pushing their agenda in order to move America to dependence on China, windmills, and solar panels. Meanwhile, China continues to use oil, gas, and coal to power its economy. It's the Democrat Party way to destroy America. Like I've been saying all along, a new study finds that the NRDC has found that several of its top officials have worked for the Communist Chinese Party. Meanwhile, Socialist Democrats led by economic illiterate Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez continue to push the dangerous green policy to destroy the American middle class. And that's exactly what's happening. Fox News reported the Natural Resource Defense Council, a major U.S. green group that has influenced Biden administration policy making, has deep ties to the Chinese government. The NRDC, a nonprofit organization based in New York City, with total assets exceeding $450 million, has worked on climate issues extensively in China since the mid-1990s, and several of its top officials have worked for the Chinese Communist Party or government-sponsored institution. The NRDC also maintains a close working relationship with President Biden's administration. The NRDC former president, Gina McCarthy, serves as Biden climate czar up from January 2021 until earlier this month. Current president Manish Bapna has attended at least 2 White House meetings, visitor logs reviewed by Fox News Digital show. The NRDC regularly communicates with Special Presidential Envoy for Climate John Kerry's office on policy issues, according to the internal State Department emails obtained by the watchdog group Protect the Public's Trust and shared with Fox News Digital. On its website, the NRDC highlights its collaboration with a wide range of Chinese and international partners to boost green policies and fortify environmental regulations in the country. But they don't say is the NRDC, what they don't say is China's doing nothing for the green agenda. They just pushing it on us. So that's the problem there. They don't care anything about the environment. The CCP don't care anything about the environment. They care about power and control, and that's why what they're using it on us. Let's see. Let's do one more, I guess. Glenn Greenwald exasperates the left. Democrats' politics is about criminalizing opposition. And agree. We see that with everything. Look how the FBI is treating people on the right. You don't see any of that same energy for people on the left whatsoever. Independent journalist Glenn Greenwald unloaded on the Democratic Party over the weekend, calling them out as authoritarians who did not just want to win, they want to criminalize their opposition. Greenwald began by responding to a tweet from the Prospect managing editor Ryan Cooper, who had complained about the fact that prosecutors had recommended not to indict Rep. Matt Gaetz in relation to sex trafficking probe. Chicken Blank Club, Cooper tweeted. But the thing with Matt Gaetz is it was extortion. It was extortion. The guy was like, hey, we can make this go away if you give me some money. The whole thing was fake. The media went with it. And that's all there is to it. The left-wing media, of course, they're going to go against Gaetz to try to stop him from what he was doing, which is help pushing the MAGA agenda. But Greenwald pointed out that Cooper has not even delved into the possible reasons prosecutors had decided the way they did, tweeting, "This is a perfect illustration of how authoritarian so many Democrats are. This Democrat doesn't know or care why career DOJ prosecutors decide the evidence was insufficient to prosecute Matt Gaetz. What he knows is that Gaetz supports Trump, thus he wants him in prison." And that's an awesome tweet. Awesome tweet. Quote, "I can't stress this enough. At its core, Democratic politics is about criminalizing opposition to their party and ideology," Greenwald continued in the second tweet. Dissenting ideas are disinformation and must be censored by big tech. Trump voters are inherently criminal insurrectionists and should be in prison. And that's a great point. And you got to understand, Greenwald is a leftist himself. He's just calling out the leftist bullcrap. In October 2021, we produced this video to assemble the mountain of polling data and other quantifiable evidence demonstrating how Democrat Party loyalists and liberal activists are now classic authoritarians. They are what they accuse others of being, he concluded. Look at that. Great point. I like Greenwald. I don't agree with some of his ideology, but he does make some fair points. And Greenwald has been sounding an alarm against both Democrats and corporate media for repeatedly choosing one narrative and stifling all others, usually to protect Democrat candidates or elected officials. He even went so far as to leave the outlet he co-founded, The Intercept, after being asked to whitewash an article addressing reversal of the stupid messaging during the George Floyd protest. And that's about the same time I stopped reading The Intercept myself. That's when I found out. I was like, wow, The Intercept is really, it is not really a good organization. They don't really tell the truth. They just tell their ideology. Quote, "In June, I was drafting an article on this flagrantly politicized reversal of stupid messaging. When the Intercept editors learned this, they commissioned an article for the same day to argue racism, not the stupid 19, was the greatest health crisis, so everyone should go protest," he explained. After leaving the Intercept, Greenwald said the outlet had also censored his article about Hunter Biden, President Joe Biden, and the president's past dealing with China and Ukraine. And he founded this organization and they censored him. So what does that tell you about the left? You can't, it's par for course for the left. That's what they do. And we have to call them out on it. So good on Greenwald for calling them out on it. That's all I'm gonna cover for right now. Again, I might come back a little later, so check me out a little later. Hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm going live, because I can go live at any time. I like going live in between sessions if I got time. So hit that alarm bell so you know when I get live. Like, share, and subscribe. Share this out. Check out my link in the description for my Patreon, where I talk about things I can't talk about here, and there's also a link to my socials. Check out my Instagram, which I got going really good now, where I got tons of news information where you can read them really quick reads, little summaries of articles and stuff. So check that out so you can stay informed. Until next time. Oh yeah, also check out democrepublics.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.